Hi, this is the second in a series of videos about me getting into digital modes. If you saw the first video, it was around just getting going on the software and the setup and using Whisper as a starting point. So you'll remember we've got the 5000 connected via the SCU-17 to the laptop, which is just out of shot. And we are using it on currently an off-centre fed dipole. You'll remember about the importance of having an accurate PC clock, and we talked about that last time. And the software we're using today is WSJT-X, which is the software we used for the Whisper demo. So we'll cover that now. So following on from the last video, we left everything set up on 20 meters. We did a demo of Whisper, which is chugging away here in the background. So now we're going to look at FT8. So mode, loads of modes on here. FT8, which is the popular one. And you can see the rig has automatically changed using the cat control. If I turn the volume up, you'll hear the familiar noises of FT8 digital, and it'll alternate in a second. There you go. And straight away you can see the screen populating. So what we have here, you can set up colour codes. I'll just move that slightly. These moving rapidly are signals we're receiving, QSOs that are in progress. The blue highlights a CQ call, so somebody who's looking for a contact. Everything else is an in progress QSO. As you'll find when you use this software, there's options like clicking here CQ only, which will now just show the CQ call, so the screen's a bit less busy. Unlike Whisper, which is a 2-minute cycle, FT8 is a 15-second cycle. And after every cycle, I've got the software again in the settings just to put a bar reminding you which band you're on and showing what's being heard in that cycle. So here we are receiving lots of CQs. I'll just get rid of that. And over here on the waterfall, it's completely different to what we saw on the Whisper. These are very narrow bandwidths within the frequency that we're using on 20 meters. Each is a transmission and a QSO going on. So you can see there's a hell of a lot of conversations, QSOs going on in what is a very narrow piece of radio spectrum. Which is part of the beauty of digital modes. You get a lot squashed in a small space, and that is looking really busy. So the way this works is you can click on someone calling CQ and try and have a conversation with them. And down here, the system will automatically go through a cycle in the QSO. It'll call the other person, they'll acknowledge with signal reports, and likewise you do the same, and then there's a 73 and a closure. So there are a series of events that take place automatically down here. Or if you want to be a station calling CQ, you can transmit as well on this 6th setting, which gives my call and my locator. So in essence, that's the look and feel of FT8 on this WSJT-X software. Incoming transmissions there, and if you have a transmit yourself, that will appear in here, which is what we'll try to do next, although this is a very busy band. If I click over to 40 meters, the rig's just clicked over. We've still got signals coming in. Not as loud. And you'll see the waterfall populating again, this time for 40 meters and there's a scale on the side there you might not be able to see with time and band, and you can see it's not so busy, and we can probably find a space in there. And here's the first batch of 40 meter CQs coming through. So before we transmit and try and make a QSO, just to explain this waterfall window a bit more, there's a red marker there and a green marker there, and they are the transmit and receive points on the spectrum. And ideally you want to move your transmit to a quiet part of the band, and it actually alters the tone of the transmission. All those warbles you hear, the low ones are coming down this end and the higher frequency ones are coming from up this end. So you can click and drop this. So if I move receive, you can move it around, and you see if you pressed shift, you can move the transmit as well. Not very easy when you've got a very large mouse pointer. So if I click it there, you can see I've lined my transmit over what appears to be a quiet space. The receive will move around automatically with the station that you're trying to contact, or if you're just putting out CQ, it'll come out here. But the software does it for you automatically, and you can see here where the receive marker is. That's a very strong signal coming in. You can see by the colour. And if you look there, about 1200 that is. If we looked on this scale, we'd probably be able to see where that station was. Probably that one there, 1192, Yankee Oscar 2 in this year in Romania. So big signal there. So we'll put out a transmit. I'll try and reply to one of these stations and see what happens. So I've just focused a bit more on this part of the screen where the action is going to take place. In terms of stations calling CQ, this column represents their signal strength, and the greater the negative number, the weaker they are. So there, +5, that's a big signal. So if I double click on him, it's put the rig into transmit. I can see it's transmitting 5 watts now, and you can see here he's calling CQ in blue, I'm replying in yellow, and down here we're into that reply mode, number 1, and the 15-second cycles are going by. He's replied to me with my signal report of -4. I've replied to him, there is +2, and we're now on transmit 3. And if all goes well, I should get a 73 call back. It's all going away in the background if you listen. And then I've got it set up to, do I want to log it, which I do, and I'll put that down as 5 watts, and that will log. And there's 73, and QSO's over. Just turn that back down. And if I move up here and move right a bit and zoom in, you can see how the software lined me up onto him, and it works a dream really. So that's a quick demo of FT8 1 QSO, and there's just one more little thing I want to show you, which is automatic logging, which I'll cover in another little video. Before I go there, you can see that station calling CQ again, and it's green this time, so I know I've worked in these settings, somewhere in here, settings, colours, so you can tick things you want to show and you can change the colours, so they're CQ in message, so people who you've worked, who you haven't worked, new regions that you need to work, new calls, you can get them to highlight, lots of different things you can configure, but just getting going I think is enough to start with. and again at the bottom you can see the cycle going, and we're on receiving. And if I was to change bands, the rig would automatically change over as well. So really pleased with that. Very straightforward. You still have to do a little bit of fishing up here and down here to find your station, but once you do, the QSO takes care of itself in the main. It isn't always as simple as that. Sometimes you can call and nothing comes back. Likewise, other stations are calling, so there's a pecking order and you might be lower down the list. So there's all sorts of things to consider. It's not trying to shoot fish in a barrel, but there is a little bit of skill to this as well. So automatic logging, which I'll show in a short follow-up video. Thanks for watching. Hope you found this series useful.